Let's hear it.
Hello, thanks for having me here. It's an honor to be at this festival that has such a great history and great purpose. And I'm going to do 3 poems. The first one is, since it's just finished the 9/11 anniversary, I'll do one that I wrote about that, that's partly about that and partly about something that happened a few miles from here. The 9/11 anniversary brings up the question, of course, are American lives worth more than other people's lives? Anyway, this poem for Frankie. Do people who die on TV really die? Some say yes, some say no. Some say it's clear as black and white. Some prefer radio. I had a dream where an old man in striped pants walked down the corridor of a nursery. He wore a hat with stars and bars, and he carried a basket filled with bombs. He stopped at every cradle, placed a bomb, lit the fuse, and passed on. I followed close behind him, stopped at every cradle, picked up every bomb, and I too passed on. In the end, I stopped him to return them. His heart melted into plastic as the bombs exploded and the babies cried. I woke up and smiled. 9/11, I'll never forget. It was the morning they found Frankie face down in a pool of blood outside his own front door. Face down in the dark because the landlord couldn't be bothered to change the light bulb. Of course, it wasn't the light bulb being out that did it. Whoever it was probably would have bashed his head in anyway, but we'll never know. It was probably drug dealers, but whether it was the old traditional kind or the new bastards on the block was hard to say. The ambulance came and took him away. The cops came and wrote down a few names. Nobody cleaned up the blood for 2 or 3 days. 9/11. There was a lot of collateral damage. If only they had got the White House too. But that was in the afternoon. Would I be willing to ride that airplane on either side of the knife? No. But when I heard they'd got the Pentagon, I leapt in the air and shouted, yes! We all sat down and watched, amazed, but not in shock. When the second tower collapsed, we couldn't believe our luck. No, 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 no! They didn't deserve to die. If by they you mean the people who really did die. But then they never do deserve it, do they? It's the axis of evil who deserve it. The real axis of evil who die in their beds of old age. Maybe they die hard, but I bet they don't. I bet they mostly die happy little fuckers who didn't get to rule the world. Nobody does. But they got to ride up on the top, so far up on the tip-top, that we can't touch them. We can't lay even one fucking finger on them, and so we kill our own kind because they're useful to the people we hate. Well, not me, of course. I'm only trying to imagine what it must be like. I don't want to die any sooner than absolutely necessary. Not even for you. I'm a casualty too. Gut shot. Frankie didn't die right away. They kept him in the hospital for about 6 months while he tried to remember his name. Then they released him to care in the community, and he died after 27 days. I called the hospital about the post-mortem, and the nurse started to cry. She had thought he was still alive. Second poem.